And we are live. We are live. It is Friday evening. It is any news on Cantwell's snapped hair band. Oh, the banter in the chat room has started already. We'll just do some of this just to make sure the video is live. How many people we got on live? Saying about 33. Let's get some more people online. Hello, everyone from Jimmy. Jesus God. Right, anyway, let's do some hellos. First of all, the people that have joined us this early. Port Job Express is in. Tam Mac is in the house. GTB Boy 67, hail, hail. Davey Raw's in the house. Lorna's in the house. Kevin's in the house. He's going straight away. Celtic 5, Dundee 0. We'll come to the team and everything else in a minute. There's a few other things I want to talk about. First, Lorna's in the house. Kevin, he's going Heart. I'm going to just star that one because I'll come back to the teams. Kevin, so we'll just keep that there. Craig Gilmer's in the house. Hail, hail, troops, as long as we win. I'll be happy, says Anton. Ewan Boy, hail, hail from Miserable Dunoon. Miserable, any news on Cantwell? JB's in the house. Hail, hail, buys for rain in Cumbernauld. Well, we had some crazy weather last night. It was unbelievable. This morning, I got up and we had thunder. There was lightning, but no thunder. It was weird. It was the most bizarre thing ever. Like lots of other people coming in the house. Hail, hail from Kirkcaldy. Kirkcaldy's in the house. Even from Turkey. Turkey's in the house as well. Brilliant. 10-0 in Yang tomorrow. Hail, hail from Belfast. Right. Let's get some of the news, first of all. And this is probably news that you don't want to hear. Although the transfer window is closed, it has been suggested by teamtalk.com that Ange Postecoglou, Angie boy, call him whatever you want these days, he's looking to raid Celtic this Christmas. Come the winter transfer window, Celtic are expecting, well, this says that Ange Postecoglou wants to make a bid for a Celtic player, and it will be in the region of £25 million. It's going to be £25 million for Dyson Maeda. They're coming in and they're saying it'll take 25 million to get Maeda away from Celtic. It probably will be around about 25 million. I think I don't think he's better than Jota, to be fair. And I think if they do come in with that kind of money, Celtic will be quite within their right to. We'll talk about Jota in a minute because he's having a dreadful time when he's left. You know, you have to say Ange did bring him over. He knows him. He played with him. Maeda has given you a little hint. Also, Maeda said that he's missing the way that he played for the last 4 years. He says he played he's played the one style under the previous manager, and he's struggling this season to get into the rhythm with a new method. Well, if it's true and we do get an offer of 25 million, tell me in the comments right now, yes for the 25 million. Should we take it? Should we take the 25 million? If, as this says, it's all in Celtic's hands. He's got a long-term, he just signed a new long-term contract, right? So any deal that does come out, he's got a new deal to 2027, but Spurs understand to be exploring the conditions of a move, and is believed that Celtic would command a similar fee to the one collected when selling Jota, and that would be 25 million. And maybe even more, they're saying. Celtic would look to recoup that type of sum, if not more, for Dyson. So that's interesting. That's a bit of news that I didn't think I'd be having to speak about tonight. Considering the transfer window has closed, I would definitely hound out for more. Yes, even at 20 million. 20 million. Spain, in Spain just now. What was that one? In Spain, watching a pub. Oh, come on, hoops. Got a bit in Spain, are you, Gary? Hail, hail from Portsmouth. Take the 25 million, says John. Hold out for more, says Bob. He can run to London for 25 million. Yep. Well, James, his site's been pretty spot on with stuff before. So we'll wait and see how that one turns out. You know, teamtalk.com has come out with a few stories and exclusives before, and they've been pretty spot on. So we'll wait and see. We can all I do is give you the news, and give you the news. 25 million for Samurai and Blue, 30 million for Hatate. First to 56. Keep the cash. Keep the cash. Time to fly. Right, let's get on to some other Celtic news before we get to the predictions for tomorrow. Celtic have today announced, they're delighted to announce, we all got the heads up a few weeks ago, that the Barrowfield Training Centre is to be changed. It is to be the academy for the boys and girls, and it's to be a new dedicated training centre for the Celtic FC Women First Team. Today's announcement emphasises our strategy in maintaining a strong commitment both with developing our players and investing in the women's football. The project represents the largest infrastructure investment in the club since the redevelopment of Celtic Park in the late 1990s. What happened to the hotel, Celtic? Hold the bus. I'm all for giving the academy boys and the women's team a decent facility to train at, right? Where's the money for the hotel? The hotel was agreed years ago. It was probably about 5-6 years ago now that the hotel was agreed. Where is the money for the hotel? Why? You will get more money back quicker by building the hotel, Celtic. You'll get completely more. That's where the funds for the players are going, the women's team. Come on, Street Shitter. That is not. I don't think Celtic are siphoning off money. The hotel's pipe dream, says Tam Mac. The plans were approved. The plans were approved by Glasgow City Council. Everything was done. You know, the plans were drawn up, but nothing's happened. Show us your deeds. Show us your deeds. The hotel must be built. The hotel must be built, man, right? Just build it. Just build it, hotel. Anyway, right, let's move on for that. Celtic going to say, I'm sure Peter Lawwell's had his little say, as always. Peter Lawwell says, we are delighted to agree this new commitment, and we are certain it will be an important and positive investment in the club's future. During the club's illustrious history, so many of our young players have come through the Celtic Football Club's own development system and graced the first team. Although this new training centre will improve facilities, we aim for even more success in that area. Fair enough. If it means that we're going to get a conveyor belt of young players coming in, don't put them out on loan. Get me started, Celtic, tonight. I tell you, don't put the young players. If we're going to spend 20 million on this place, right? Why are we then putting players out on loan, and why are we buying 21-year-old players in? Anyway, that's the rant over. Get the hotel done. It will be filled every week, says Adrian. Yes, you know it for a fact, Adrian. Being over in Ireland, you know how many people will come over just from Ireland and would fill that hotel every home game. I stopped doing that stuff when I left Scotland years ago, mate. Slaving. So anyway, calm down, Baz, says Lorna. I just give it's all entertainment. It's all just entertainment. Right, let's get back to Peter Lawwell. It says, whilst there are opportunities to develop elsewhere in Glasgow, Celtic was born and raised in the East End of the city. It was right to maintain a presence in the local community as a place where so many Celtic legends have been made. The Celtic Academy continues to be hugely important to the club. Anyway, previous academy players such as Kieran Tierney, Aidan McGeady, Steve McManus, Sean Maloney have all been fantastic contributors. And you look at the modern game, James Forrest, Anthony Ralston, Stephen Welsh, Mikey Johnston, who have all come. Mikey Johnston never come through the academy. We bought him for flipping that other mob. Anyway, right, that's it. I know a club like ours, says Peter Lawwell, says, aims to be the best in everything it does. And the new centre demonstrates Celtic's real commitment to this area. Ultimately, the aim for the academy is to develop first-team players who reach first-team level. And I know that these great facilities can support this objective very positively. Peter Lawwell then goes on to say, I am sure the new complex will be welcomed by our coaches, our young players, and of course, the women's first team, giving them all an opportunity to grow and improve in their areas of work. And then he went on to say, if you look at the record attendance women's match in Scotland, 15,822 fans watching Celtic women in the league in action. Franz Alonso says, I'm excited about the Barrowfield development plans. I believe the new facility can be huge for women's football and a real game changer for us. The facility will allow for all-weather training with the best resources and provide the first team girls an academy with a great new dedicated base where they can develop further. Right, that's enough about that, because, do you know, 50 million for yeah, John, you saved me actually saying it live on air about Peter. Anyway, women's football is a financial parasite. Come on, Street. Build a statue of the hotel. There's no gear in Spain. I don't take the stuff. Why would I? You're maybe taking it. In fact, do you know what? I'm not having any more nonsense tonight. You're getting a timeout. I'm up for no nonsense tonight. Anyway, let's move on. The centre, old ideas, but don't play them dokes. Yeah, for a reason. If Maeda is worth 20 million, what is real worth? I think we'll wait and see exactly. We'll wait and see if that bid comes in. I think it might, because when you look at little things that Dyson said at the beginning of this season, he says that he's struggling to adapt to the new kind of football under the manager, and he's struggled to find the change from the way that he's played under the previous 4 years under the previous manager. He'll from Germany. Right? Celtic also made an announcement about the game tomorrow. We'll talk about what they're saying about the game. Always everything you need to know about Celtic Park. There are plenty of entertainment, family paradise, from early access to licensed facilities. The sports bar opens from 11 a.m. Sports bar at Celtic Park will open from 11 a.m. until 2:30, and then you get kicked out, and then you've got to come back in. Complete nonsense. Anyway, supporters with a valid match ticket located in the southwest corner of the Jock Scene stand can access via the main Carrydale Suite entrance, where stewards will be on hand to direct you. And then you can also grab a new bumper 100-page Celtic View, where they have the lowdown on UEFA Champions League group opponents Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid and Lazio. We look how they've fared against them previously in past European duties. And there's also exclusive interviews with Brendan Rodgers and Callum McGregor, and much, much more. Pick up a coffee for $5.99 from programme sellers outside the ground. 2 for a pound, 3 for £5. Right, anyway, that's all about Celtic just now. Let's Dyson worked under Ange for 4 years. It's going to take him that time to adjust normal. Baz, we don't pay money now, we just need to play. Yep, Maeda is going to follow Ange about instead of developing his game under another manager. That's a good point, Smell the Glove. That is a very good point. I think that Brendan could take him on to that little bit next level, which are all tickets sold out for the game tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think they probably will be at this late stage. Maeda's worth a lot more than 25 million, if you ask me. I watched a man mark 3 zombies last week's game. Yep. Talking about last week's game, we need to talk about this, right? Because understand that Bealeface has been having a little moan, and I'm going to grab it up and we'll get it up on. Let me just see. Where is it? Group chat. There we go. Right. This is absolutely golden. This is golden. Wait a minute till we'll get this on. Right. This is them crying.
Played the last 2 or 3.
Well, you'd have to listen to this.
2 and 2 if the officials would have done their job correctly.
Whoa! 2 and 2. 2 and 2.
In the last game.
So
you would have 2 and 2 if the officials would have done their job correctly.
If the officials had done their job correctly in the last game, Beale, 2 weeks later, they're still complaining about decisions. This is the team that gets penalty rangers consistently. I mean, how many penalties did they get last season? And he's still complaining if the officials had done their job right. Unbelievable. The greeting face, and this is just deflecting away from the fact that he's about to get the sack.
Good place at the moment. Unfortunately, Todd Cantwell will miss probably the next 3 or 4 games.
Right, wait a minute, because Todd Cantwell, the day after the Celtic Rangers game, Sevco, was pictured at the airport with his girlfriend or fiance or whatever, his missus, and getting a flight. And he seemed to be walking pretty easy. You know, he was walking okay. Didn't look as if there was any type of injury. Is he feigning injury? Is the Cantwell feigning injury? Has that little blue ribbon that he had in his hair fell off? Anyway, blaming everyone but himself by his failures. Yeah, and the fact is, 2 weeks later, he's still crying about it.
The game, Kieran Dow's the same, but other than that, everyone else is fit.
Everyone else is fit. And by the way, the picture of him at the Hoops Bar in Tenerife is legit. I have been told it is legit. It wasn't recent, obviously. It wasn't recent, but he was pictured in the Hoops Bar with his mates some time ago. Right, let's get to the big part of the video. Obviously, we've talked about the fact that Postecoglou, mate, could be coming back in for a 25 million offer. But let's get the predicted lineups. Who starts in defence tomorrow? I'm going to say my team, and I'm going to just do this. Copy and here, and I'm going to put my team there, and then I'm going to pin it at the top. No, I need to go on to. Damn. I've not even got the video up. Give me 2 seconds. I need to get this up. I need to do some. I've just put my team live, but I want to pin the post. And to do that, I need to go back into the video. And everything's running slow. And go there. Give me your teams in the comments. And now that I could see all the comments here. Skip ad. Face that. Right. Come on, comments. Where are you? Come back up. Right, I'll need to put this back. I'll put it back in the comments. I'll put my team selection back in the comments because I think this is pretty much the team that we are going to play. I think. There we go. Where is it? I think that's the team that will start. That's just me personally. Pin message. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's the team that will start because it's players that are the fittest, not CCV skills. Right, let me do. Lanky's come in. Lanky said, with Lanky CCV. Jesus, Yang must start. Yep, Yang must start. I think heavily rotated side makes sense. We will play. We consider our first team levels Sunday, recovery Monday, analysis Tuesday. Yep. I think the reason that I've went with that team, where on earth is it? Too many screens open. Right. Hart, Johnson, Phillips, Scales, Taylor, McGregor, O'Reilly, Turnbull, Yang, Furiashi, and Maida. Right. The reason I'm going with this team first, right, the 4-3-3, because we need to put the game to bed straight away. The quicker we put this game to bed tomorrow, and then we get some other players on, right, we've got to make sure that these players are fresh for Tuesday. We've got to give them as much game time as we can tomorrow, and without getting any other injuries. So the reason that I'm giving this team Lanky, wait a minute. I've got Lanky read your mind, but he does that. Murray says Hart, AJ, Phillips, Scales, Taylor, Calma, around Maida, Kyogo, and Yang, and Ohm. He's got Omen. I wouldn't put Omen. Murray, personally, yeah, definitely Yang in for a bada. There's another one. Marty Boy says Hart, Johnson, Phillips, Lager Boy. No, I don't think it will. I think it'll be Scale all day long. Taylor, McGregor, Owen. I don't think Owen's going to start. I don't think Owen's going to start because I don't think Owen will be in the team for the Champions League either. So that's my thinking behind it. Let's get to some of the new comments. Why Turnbull? Big Dom just told you my thinking behind it. I think that Turnbull will play because he's got the match fitness. And what you'll see is you might see Hatate coming on towards the game. So there you go. Don't be too surprised if Hatate. I'm talking Turnbull for the first half, purely because we need to get players that are fit and that have had more than a good few games, right? And I think Baz, I'm thinking the opposite. I think we give the players a chance to play and hopefully perform well enough. No, we can't. We cannot go into a game and give them players that haven't played on a week-to-week basis. It's not mid-season. It's not mid-season. We have to bring in these guys slowly. Guys that haven't played on a week-to-week basis, you have to bring them in really slowly. Do you seriously think that Scales will start in the Champions League? No, Diane. No, I don't. I think if need be, he might start out wide. He won't start in the back two in the Champions League. And Ben Doak is an animal. We didn't let him go, Slaven. He wanted to go. He wanted to go. And this is the problem that Celtic are not bringing. This goes back to this 20 million academy, right? Yeah, that's exactly what I think, Stig. Turnbull in, sub later when the game wraps up. We need to score as many goals as we can in the first half. Let's get back to the academy. And Ben Doak. Ben Doak wanted to leave Celtic. He wanted to leave Celtic because he didn't think that Celtic were going to play him enough first team action. And Liverpool told him exactly. Irishman living in Canada, loving your channel. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Vata looks good. I believe that Vata also wants to go. So don't be surprised that he doesn't get anywhere near the first team, which it doesn't look like. He's obviously told the manager that he will decide where he will play next season, which means he doesn't want to sign a new contract. When it comes back to it, we'll put out players, and this is where, if they're young enough and good enough, get them in this first team, and then get them game time. Get them game time. It's as simple as that. What about the other Koreans? I remember one of his name because he's invisible. Yes, Kwon. I don't think he's going to get near the team. Why can't we stop these players leaving, Baz? Because Celtic and the way that Celtic look at things, they buy in players at the same age and they want a quick turnaround, 2 year turnaround on them, and they want to sell the players on. For a young player to come into the first team now, they've got to be up at Callum McGregor's standard and the standard that he was. Young Sean Maloney, when he came through the team. And these players just aren't at that level yet because they're not playing that in a good league. They're not playing in a good league and they're not getting the chance. And it's so mind-boggling. If a Celtic to put out that statement this evening, we're loving the fact that we're spending 20 million on a training pitch for the academy guys. If you're going to do that, right, it's going to take, 6 months to build, right? So then, with that being said, we should then start seeing an immediate return for an investment within a year. And players should be coming from the youth setup directly into the first team squad. Surely. Your team's has but skills, left back and Lager at right back. Really, Martin? Jesus. Anyway, Beale needs sanctions. And then the fact that Beale talking about the game 2 weeks ago, rather than talking about the game tomorrow, offer him a decent wage and a path into the squad. I think they did offer that, but when Liverpool come calling, it's a different level altogether. Doesn't mean that the hotel is still on hold, Baz. The hotel. Don't even get me started with the hotel. Watch this. Brendan will probably play 3 at the back tomorrow. I don't think so, Lanky. I don't think so. You never know, but he's never done it before, so I don't think he's going to start it now. He's never been known for going to the back, so later, Celtic fans, time to get ready for darts. For darts? You're leaving us for darts? Scales is definitely starting tomorrow. Yep, I think so. I mean, the reason behind my team, right? You've obviously Joe Hart. Alistair Johnson needs to get a full 60 minutes in. He needs to get more than 60 minutes in, sorry. He only played 60 minutes against the Sevco just to get him game time. He needs to play 90 minutes tomorrow to make sure that he's ready for the Champions League. Phillips will play, Scales will play. That's the two main defenders until Cameron Carter Vickers comes back. I'm afraid that's Scales will then drop out when Cameron Carter Vickers comes back in October. You've then got Taylor. Um, there's nobody that's going to take Taylor out of the team just now. Bernabe is not even in the Champions League squad. There's no way that he's going to displace Taylor and on a week-to-week basis. You've then got McGregor, O'Reilly, and then Turnbull in the middle with Yang, Maida, and Furiashi up front. I think Turnbull, I'm going to give you my substitutions, and I think the substitutions will be the first substitution will be Turnbull and then Yang. I think that'll be the substitutions tomorrow. That'll be the first two substitutions. I think, depending on how the game's going, you might find that Johnson comes off also, just to save his legs. You know, he might get more than 60 minutes just to make sure. Yeah. But I think players they'll get the full substitute uses tomorrow. And don't be surprised if the level of the game kind of goes down a bit when it does happen. Lanky says Phillips is quite good. It reminds me of Stubbs. That's just, yeah, Lanky, I agree with that totally. I think if you can cross a ball like Stubbs, Stubbs was one player that could do a diagonal ball to a winger from defence. And if he can get playing like that, Hart, James Smith says Hart, Alistair Johnson, Phillips, Lager, Scales, Calmac, Rio, Bernardo, Palmer, Kyogo, Yang for you. So I think you're going to stay at the back. James, I don't think Brendan will go through. He's never done it yet. Stubbs scored a belter against the Hearts. Yes, he did. There's another defender for Celtic. Let me see if you know your stuff here. Defender, Scottish defender, is now a manager in Scotland, and he scored an absolute cracker of a header. He basically came out from, now if you can imagine the box, he basically came in diagonal run from the back end of the box and scored an absolute cracker of a header past Andy Gorham. Andy Gorham from a corner. Who is that player? Tell me in the comments. He is a current manager, so that'll give it away straight away. That'll give it away straight away. He is a current manager. Yep, Mackay, you got it first. Call. Yep, Stuart, you got it first. Malcolm Mackay. That was a cracker. Absolute cracker of a header. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's get back to some of the comments. Gustav has diagonal ball in his locker. Yeah, he does. I think he will feature in the game at some point. You're going to see a lot of substitutions. Don't be surprised if there's full selection of substitutions tomorrow, just to make sure that everyone gets some game time before the squad flies out to Holland. Who's all going to Holland? Who got tickets for the game? Tell me that, right? Tell me, Joseph Morris. No. James J. Boyle says Hart, Johnson, Phillips, Gustav, Scales, Rio, Calmac, Matt, O'Reilly, Samurai Blue, Yang, Kyogo, Easy Baz. What do you think the scores will be? What do you think the scores will be? Just to let you know, yes, I have got my tickets for Madrid. Yes, we're all booked for Madrid. So just thought I'd put that out there. Tactics in Dundee will look for set pieces. Any football to play will be attempted 6-0. My mate's there than now in Madrid. It's okay, Madrid, but it's too busy. And it's the sad thing about Madrid, and what's interesting is people think that this is going way off track. I'll leave that. Get back to the football. Get back to the football. Baz, what's the difference between playing St Johnstone and Dundee tomorrow? Nothing. They will sit back the exact same. See your big score lines. Stop it. Come on. Stop the big score lines. It's going to be another St Johnstone game where they are going to sit back. And Dundee Tactics, they'll look for set pieces in any football they'll try to play. Yep. John says, Baz, what's the difference between when we played St Johnstone to playing Dundee tomorrow? I think the fact that we'll have our shooting boots on. O'Reilly hat trick tomorrow. Oh, lanky. I'm going to write that one down. Where's my pen? Oh, lanky. Oh, yeah. Lanky. O'Reilly hat trick. I throw that down. Right, 2-1 either way. And I just hope we hammer them because we haven't been flowing yet. A clean sheet, that's what I'm hoping for. I think we got a clean sheet the last game. We got a clean sheet the last game. I think the players that will start tomorrow, Baz, when are we going to score from a corner? If I had tumbleweed that could go across the screen right now. 1-0 Kyogo first half, says Bob, the Minecrafter. Big Dom, I have no idea. Diane, come on. Jeezy. 8-1. Too early in the season for an 8-1, I'm afraid. We're not there yet as a team. We're not there yet as a team, just yet. Early goal, and I think we'll stroll at 3-0 tomorrow, says John. Right, I've only got one right this season. I've got my scores written down. The first one was 4-1. Then I went for a 4-0 against St Johnson, and that didn't work. And then I went 3-1 against the Rangers, the Sevconians, and I didn't get that one right either. So I think tomorrow is all about stop heading the ball. We're looking for consistency. Yep. And Diane is creased because I think she's lost her mind. Either water both corner flag. Uh, we're just terrible at corners. I'm going to suggest that the next person to score from a corner will be Nat Phillips. I think Nat Phillips will be the man to break our duck and score from a corner. Tell me what you think about that in the comments. 2-0 tomorrow, it says Ewan Boy Martin. I'm going to go. I want to score from a corner the last couple of times. I'm struggling. I'm thinking 2-0. We might not worry about corners because we are honking and have been for a long time. Yes, Stuart, we have. Hail, hail, boys, is KP boy. I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 tomorrow. Celtic 2, Dundee Nipwa. Right, I've done it. I've wrote it down. Uh, always get a penalty against us. Scales to head a goal. Nah, I don't think Scales from a corner. I don't think Scales will head the ball. I think it's going to be Phillips. I've just got a feeling. Remember Liverpool scoring from a corner a long time ago. It was Cadet the last to score from. I don't know. I'll ask him. I've got him on Insta. I've still got his phone number. 2-0 tomorrow, I'm going to say sure. I think the score will be 2-0 tomorrow. I don't. You never know. We're at home, and if the fans get behind the team tomorrow, and I mean all the fans, and when the team are sitting back a bit, Dundee, I'm talking about. When Dundee are sitting back a bit, don't get on their backs. Celtic are going to, and you're going to have people going online saying, "Oh, it's this side to side nonsense stuff again," and this. How else do we break down teams that just sit back? Teams never sat this far back when Brendan's first time around. So, I mean, it is up to us to try and break teams down. Dundee are masters of 11 men on their own box. Yep. And then try and hit you with a set piece. We wants to win tomorrow. Or the zombie game was a waste of time. Exactly, Carlin. Exactly. If it wasn't for the rest of the last 6-0, Calmac first to score. I'm going for a healthy 4-0. Scales will score. Yeah, the Huns drop points. If the Huns drop points, the place will be jumping at 3 p.m. Who are they playing tomorrow? I have no idea who they're even playing tomorrow. I take it they're playing the early game, which would be even better if they whatsoever. I think that's why Celtic's putting the game on inside. Right, get back to Kevin. His team was Hart, Taylor, Scales, Phillips, Johnson, Hatati, Kalma, Palma, Kyogo, Maida, and Yang. That was an interesting one. Interesting. Right. The only return will score is an own goal. You think so? I reckon Turnbull will score a cracker from outside the box tomorrow. If you've got anyone that could take a shot from outside the box, and I think I think it would. I'd even go Turnbull first goal if you're outside the box. If they're sitting right back, right? If they're sitting right back in the sort of the first quarter of the pitch, right? If they're sitting just outside the 18-yard box, I think Turnbull or Calmack might be the first. It's either going to be Scales is a bomb scare man, says Christopher. I'm just a bog bag. People would agree with that. Lanky. Oh, you're a madman. Absolute madman. Scales is all of a sudden a world beater. I did ask that in this morning's video, and I apologise. I've not had time to go in the comments. Hold that there, Baz. Chippy fish and chips are here, says Kevin. Oh, do you know, I'd absolutely. There's only one place here that does chips, like you can get out a chippy back home, and it's a restaurant about 20 minutes down from here. I can't wait to November to get a chippy again. And Scales left back would work in a four. Yes, I think so. Yep. Joseph says Turnbull. No, I think Turnbull will be playing tomorrow from the start. It's just my hunch that I've got. Lanky and me don't care what people think. Yeah, exactly, Lanky. Turnbull isn't developing as quickly as he should. You've got to think, right? Turnbull played the first quarter of the season, Ange Postecoglou's first season, and he got an injury. And after he got that injury, that Christmas, we brought in some players, and he's never had a chance since then. You know, the last manager didn't give him a chance last season at all. The fact that Matt O'Reilly spoke about it at the beginning of the season and says David Turnbull was probably the most hard done by player last season at Celtic. Turnbull flatters to deceive. Everyone's got. Do you know what? It's because he's a Scottish player, isn't it? And we give the hardest stick to Scottish players. We always do. We always do. You're deluded. I'm deluded. Sorry. Right, we'll wait until we see the team comes out. I don't know if I'll do a live before. And should we do a live? Oh, because I'll probably do it at the pub. Have to crack 10 in defence. Exactly. And this is people are going for crazy score lines like 5-0 and 4-0. If they sit back, we're going to have to do the exact how's he developed under Rodgers. How is anyone developed under Rodgers? We're only a month into the season. You can't talk about Dom. You can't talk about how anyone has developed. And we had probably one of the better pre-seasons under Brendan. So we'll talk about how players have developed at the end of the season, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Lanky, the Bull, is a good player. A backer Scottish players. Yeah. Turnbull is a modern day Stevie Fulton. Tamat says, Baz, don't ever stop doing a live. No, I'm not going to. O'Reilly has Baz. Turnbull is a joint top scorer. Exactly. Turnbull doesn't do enough going forward or defending. Um, I've seen him for 4 years now. Well, you wouldn't have seen him last season because he got hardly any games last season. And he's been at Celtic more than 4 years. Anyway, right, let's get to some more Celtic news. And a lot of sites are now coming out with their lineups, predicted lineups. Let me see. This one is. So the Celtic airport, they're going to Hart, Taylor, Gustav, Phillips, Johnson, Hatate, McGregor, Maida, O'Reilly, Yankee, Ogo. Interesting. They're going to Hatate to start. What do they know that we don't? Will Hatate start? 7-0 tomorrow. Oh, no. Baz, no, you're on the Vino, mate. Turnbull's a dud. It's not a dud. You cannot say that about a player. Marty giving Calmack his first 6 minutes to bring him off the rest. Evening Baz says Monty. I think O'Reilly is good for us. Yep, I think so. Two centre backs will be the centre backs for Feyenoord. That's why I think it'll be Scales and Phillips. You need to get them game time together. I don't think that Gustav did enough against Rangers to make sure that he knocks Liam Scales out the team. Personally. So that's the reason that I'm going for that pairing rather than Gustav in the team. But you never know. We've never seen them at training this week. It's only Brendan Rodgers and the backroom staff that have seen them all in training, and they'll have an idea how they want to play on Tuesday, and they might just change it up for tomorrow. You don't know. You don't know. He'll pass. Scales, Big O will get a game. Do you think so, Joseph? Do you think O he'll probably come on the later end of the game, definitely, but he won't start. He won't start the game. And no doubt Tottenham's a good player, but he needs to be more consistent. He does need to be more consistent. That only comes with playing games. And the fact that the manager last season had his little favourites and kept him out of the team. That's why you never got game time. If that wasn't the case, why would Matt O'Reilly talk about it at the start of the season? He said that he was the most hard done by player last year. Let's hope that they are going to be as static as they have ever been. I just want teams to just fair enough. If you want to come and play that kind of football at Celtic Park, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, James. If you want to come and play that type of football, right? If you want to come and just sit back and soak up the pressure and try and stop us from scoring, it does nothing for the game. It does nothing for the fans, and you might see it as being a good thing, these teams, but it's killing Scottish. I seen a thing actually. The Dutch League. The Dutch League have just signed was it the Dutch League? I think it was the Dutch League. Have just signed a deal with ESPN. They've just signed a deal with ESPN for 135 million a season. A season. 130. The Dutch League is no better than the Scottish League. Let's face it. Do you know what I mean? Once you get top 3, 4 clubs, the Dutch League. The Dutch League's never as good. It's not any better, should I say? But they're getting 134 million a season TV rights. The SPFL signed a deal for 30 million a season. Everything that's wrong with Scottish football, and it all comes down to this nonsense that we need to play Sevco 4 times a year. And this is the only reason that we get what we get, because we have to play Sevco 4 times a year. Scrap that whole nonsense of playing 4 times a year. Make the league bigger, get a better TV deal, and get rid of Sky. Anyway, you think, and makes me even worse. Motherwell have changed the time of our game. Motherwell have changed the time of our game so they can put it on PPV. It's one of those nights. One of those nights. The Rangers love the Dutch. The SFA. We should boo them. Anyway, no matter who plays, get right behind them. And our manager 100% says Monty. Small-minded pushbars. It's small-minded. Do you know, it's nuts. It's absolute. In this day and age, we've had this concept of playing each other 4 times for years now, and it's not exciting. It's not exciting. This nonsense of the split is boring for me. You know, it's completely boring. I think I would definitely still have the end of season games where the playoffs. I would have that, but this split is nonsense. And playing each other 4 times, it's dated, and it's shown that it's having the adverse effect for TV revenue, having an adverse effect for TV revenue. In my opinion, when a country like Holland can get 135 million a year, 134 million a year, and we're getting 30. Motherwell are a club well run, says Lanky. Yes, they are that. They are that. Turnbull family, Sevco lovers, spanning our camp. So we've got a player whose dad played for Rangers. We get Sevco people subscribe to this channel. Baz, do you think Dundee will attack us and make a game of it? No. No, I don't think they will. Joseph, I don't think Dundee will attack us at all. I think they'll sit and hit on the break. There's this football chat. Excuse me. It's always interesting when this goes off. No, it's not. No. Anyway, Dutch football is even lower down the league. Uh, yeah, and again, I still can't get over it. Do you know? The problem is Dutch have 28 million population, and but it's not Sky. Sky's not giving that money. It's ESPN. It's not Sky, Pat. Sky's not giving the money. It's ESPN. You know, Sky can look at the population all they want. When it comes down to the viewership around the world, and I think this is where they go. Oh, you're going to come down to the Celtic Rangers, guy. Oh, you will get your money from the Celtic Rangers, guy. Ken Douglas was a Rangers fan. Baz, uh, low block, Guff makes the games, crap TV. Teams that have got us for progress. Yeah, they do. Teams now have expand the SPFL to 18 teams play each other twice and give other teams a chance. Exactly, John. But they won't do it. You know, the turkeys will not vote for Christmas. And it's absolutely, it's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. All these years later, you know, and it's done nothing for the game. Done nothing. You should hit them on the break Tuesday, or you will lose. Um, Would you give someone a thrashing? Stuart says we will do, Stuart, but I think it's too early in the season for that. We've always got a big scoreline on us, but it's never the first quarter of the season, unfortunately. Um, Lanky, what's Lanky saying? Lanky, enjoy your weekend trips. Keep the green and white. Are you off, Lanky? Are you off to that other side? And Kenny Douglas, we should hit them on the break and choose. That's what we're going to have to do. I think you'll see the second half against Sevco, the way that we played second half. That's how we'll probably play on Tuesday. Tuesday. Do you have a PO box? I need to send you something. Cheers, bro. And do I have a PO box? No, I don't have a PO box. But you need to send me a box. I don't have a PO box. No, I don't. Baz, give Baz a thumbs up, please. He's just got his blood pressure here for the chat. Yes, see you later, Lanky. Yes, I agree, Baz. Spot on. Yeah, let's see how many thumbs up are. Let's see how many thumbs. There's only 113. 114. I missed the 111. So it was good seeing 1 up. There's 312 now watching. Jump down a little bit. Yang must start. A really heavily rotated side makes sense. If we consider our first team, it leaves Sunday for the. No, that's a comment from ages ago. Rio Tati must start tomorrow and get 60 minutes. I missed that comment. I think Rio Tati will definitely get time tomorrow. But there we go, FTP 111. You know the score. You know the score. I don't really second best manager. That's 16. I blame the Brits for the short term conservative backwards run in Scotland and football. Yes, yes, and it's like they're trying to. Let's not even talk about that. Number one is magic. The one is magic. The one, the one is magic. He wants to see what he sent Lenny. He wants to send you what he sent Lenny. I bet he did. Anyway, the balancing act between results and fitness has been ready for the Champions League, says Kaiser. Welcome to the chat, Kaiser. It is a big balancing act, and that's why I think you're going to get a lot of players that will come in and only play the 60-minute mark tomorrow. The reason that we'll do that is because they are thinking ahead. You'll get Dyson playing, but I don't. If Dyson starts, he'll only play 60 minutes. If that 60 minutes is too much for him, I think you're better bringing him on the second half. You might get changes at half time. You think Turnbull might go off at half time and then Dyson comes on. You know, you never know. You never know. We need to see Palma and Bernardo play ready for the Champions League. The second half there'll be lots of changes, but we need to make sure that we get as much game time as players tomorrow because it is all about fitness for the Champions League and getting some game time into them. So don't be surprised if there's a full lot of the full amount of subs that we're allowed tomorrow. Right, new facilities look fantastic. Much more infrastructure and investment needed. Hale says Thursday. Yes, and it is fantastic that the girls, the women's football, is getting that facility. My only bugbear at the comments was why wasn't the hotel built first? The hotel would bring in. I can understand why they're saying we need to give the women facilities. They need to be on a level field when it comes to facilities to the men's team. But the hotel would bring in instant income and an instant return to the club. It's where payback from the academy, from the club, has been very. I mean, Kieran Tierney money would probably cover that investment initially. If you bring through 4 or 5 players that are Kieran Tierney level through your youth system, which we should have been doing, let's face it, we should have been doing. We don't give young players a chance, and we certainly didn't give Ben Doak a chance. Hence the reason that he wanted to leave Celtic and he wanted to go to Liverpool because he was promised by Liverpool that he would get in and about the first team. So anyway, what your channel's doing, live, Kaiser. Um, I wanted to send you a black Celtic baseball cap with a black ghost stitching. Like, go onto the Facebook page. Go on to, let me get the Hoops merch page. I'm never on Facebook. /. Page. There we go. Copy that and go into that. Go into this and send me. Why is it frozen? Go into that and send me a message, and I'll get you an address in Scotland for it. But as I agree, open up the new revenue stream to increase financial gulf between us and the rest is a must. I'm a genius, troops. Don't worry about it. Uh, Spoke about new facilities a month ago, and it was some banger saying the club had sold Barfield to a Walloper. And I made a statement tomorrow as 7-0. They're going to sit back too much. They're going to sit far back too much. They're going to sit back far too much. I'm doing a gaming on Kickbro just live 11:30. Celtic Crew, Kaiser. Yeah, the new revenue streams. Dundee are way better than St Johnstone. A bit more speed. Well, we should win comfortably. Need your channel, mate. Is on. Rogers will pull off a masterstroke at Rotterdam. Do you think so? Do you hope so? Because they've got a fantastically good home record. And I think if we take a draw away to Rotterdam, we have won a watch. We've won a watch. If we can get a draw, yes, I'm doing merch. The merch site is, and it will need updated. Copy that. Oh, there is some new additions. There are some new additions to it, and that's the merch site. Hoopsmerch.co.uk, and I'm going to pin that comment now because we've done team. Why is it not pinning that? Oh, there we go. Replace pinned message. Yeah, replaced pinned message. Right, let's get back to some of the comments before building new facilities, before the hotel, etc. So we don't need to pay for the women and the Colts to play elsewhere. Yeah, I do. I get that. And I fully understand it and I fully back it. But the money over the last few years that we sold players for when the hotel was announced, we had the money there for the hotel. Why hasn't that been brought in? Because that, to be fair, could probably finance this 20 million. But there's basically 20 million that's sitting in the bank, and Celtic are financing it that way. 4 against St Johnstone, destroyed them without scoring. Yep, if Matt O'Reilly had scored his couple of chances against St Johnstone, we would be a lot healthier in the league. Tamak says that lot have already saying that Celtic are a joke playing a young team football. I think we'll be in Europe after Christmas, said Edward. I firmly feel we'll get a result in Rotterdam. I think people are going to get a wake up call this Rotterdam game. You know, Feyenoord don't lose at home much. And you know they've had a good run. Bring Jota back, yeah, that was an interesting one. The fact that Jota is not in the team, he's been dropped out of the team. So, um, and I mean, there's a story now came out that if he wanted to go back to Celtic, it would see if the deal could be ripped up. But Celtic has went not a chance. And he also wanted to go back to Celtic on loan. Celtic could never loan. I mean, they have to pay 95% of his wages for Celtic to take him back. Or even if they paid 75, but would it Celtic have taken him back? I'm not too sure. Um, Feyenoord will be a very hostile environment. Yes, it will. Jota's not coming back. No, he can't come back anyway. The window's closed. Jota's now stuck in no man's land, unfortunately for the player. And he's too good a player. That's what happens when you chase the cash sometimes, and especially in that lot. Um, especially in that lot. Back to Feyenoord, and back to some Celtic news. The Scottish contingent will be the success, the key success. Do you think so? Don't think. I don't know about that. Don't know about that. The Barrowfield and Lennox Centre revamp. That's going to make some of the headlines tomorrow. I mean, announcing that when they did tonight, Celtic, is all about just maintaining the headlines for first thing tomorrow morning. And Joe stuck in the desert. He is that. It's a shame. I feel sorry for him. I really feel sorry for him. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking going there in the first place. Well, we'll know what Jota was thinking going there, but chasing the money and then for this to happen to him, it's really bad. Pat McIntyre says the first Euro game is usually a tight one. Hopefully a draw, but we'll probably get one goal either way. Pat, I worry about the first game because it could be a tight game, but Mike Ross says don't feel sorry for Jota. I think if we get a score draw, um, if we get a score draw, we will be have done very well, very very well on Tuesday. That's all I'm saying. I think that game is one of the harder ones, all the away games. But I think we need to really. I'm taking. We need to go for 6 points to try and finish third, and we need to win two home games. We need to win against Feyenoord at home. I think that can be done. Um, there's no chance of us getting anything from Madrid. Not a chance. I hope the Celtic Foundation have donated a good sum of money to the disaster in the Middle East, best charity. Never mind the one in the Middle East, what about the earthquake in Morocco. But nobody's talking about that. Anyway, right. You could have had a really nice hat already, Baz. Send that. Send me a message. One punch gun machine gun. Send me a message on that Facebook page, and we'll get that sorted out. And then I'll wear it on the channel just for you. Just for you. Of course, can be done, Baz. I don't think have you watched some of the games that they've played in Europe and some of the results they got the past couple of years. It's difficult. It's difficult. If we get a draw, I'll be happy with that. If we get a draw, we might thump them. We might get hammered 4-0. Might get hammered 4-0. Right. How long have we been on? We've been on for an hour already. 59 minutes already. 2 seconds. Right, that's us. Jota's missing the brazen head. We might thump them. We might do. We might do. Our squad management as a joke. We'll finish fourth, about time that put more pressure on the board to show more ambition, says Michael Ross. We might win 4-1. Lol. Right, before we finish up the video, let's get your scores for tomorrow. I'm going for 2-0 tomorrow. I think it'll be far too a tight game to be a high scoring. Morelos played his first match for Santos in the second tier Brazilian football. Aye, no bad for some, eh? Sitting here in a beer. Anyway, another round is not a chance. I am starving, and plus I've got things to do tonight. I've got an early rise tomorrow morning, so I'm no idea how I'm going to get tomorrow morning's video out. And there are only 266 people online, so people are dropping off because they're away to watch Snide FM. Joseph says 5-0. 5-0? I don't think so. Oh, no, it's a pure baller. Hail, hail, troops. Right, that's us done and dusted for the night. I'm afraid Kyogo 5-0 first scorer. Love the live, says Diane. Thank you to everyone who watched the live. Thanks to everyone who's 3-1. Can I see us having a clean sheet? Says fighting Irish. A clean sheet, even though we had a clean sheet 2 weeks ago, I think we'll be fine tomorrow, and I think we'll go for 2-0. We'll do a video first thing in the morning, and then we'll do a video after the game. I'm not sure what club I'm going to tomorrow yet. That's a surprise. And I'll see you on the next video. So have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around.
Lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party.